Well, and Mari Stevens in the second spot was actually the stolen base leader before Kalia Gibson came on campus. So those two at the top, a ton of speed, and if they can get on, they will face.
0-2 pitch, and she is gone on 3 pitches. Great start for Winstead. Another capacity crowd, it looks like here, and 2 batters, 2 Ks. So here's Jace Jackson leading the team, hitting .436, leading her team in home runs was the hitter of the year in the SWAC. Popped it up, and almost a collision there between the shortstop Hawkins and Vandegrift coming in from 19. Went on to have a great career here.
Yeah, she was pretty good.
Yeah, a little memorable. Vandegrift over the second baseman Barney, and making her 19th start of the season. Here's Lauren Johnson, the left fielder. She got quite a bit of that, running all the way and rounding first. Good, but just monstrous numbers this season.
Love the way that she's attacked this her senior year and finding enjoyment in the grind. And Johnson's one of them.
Little off speed to get the strikeout. This is an Alabama team that has over 100 stolen bases on the season. Last time they did that, Montana Fount's freshman year of 2019. That also. Wind blowing out towards left field, and Giles' first year here after playing her freshman year at Mississippi State. Just the 1 home run on the year for Hawkins, who won the shortstop job this season.
Get a lot of feedback from the fans in the stands. No.
Morris ahead 0-2, lifted into right field, but Gibson showing that speed.
Trying to come away with a win in the postseason.
Outscored 20-0 in that regional. Handled by Elstad for the first out of the second. Popped up for Hevelin. Also in the batting lineup, second baseman McKenzie. That's up the middle, played nicely on 1 hop by Hawkins, if you have to. We're not telling them that.
Stay hydrated.
Brooke Elstad is leading things off. He's senior third baseman. Bama got 2 on base in the first inning, but stranded them. Alabama is actually Elstad's 3rd school, was at Louisiana last year for University of St. Thomas for a couple of years. Morris calmly backhands it and throws her out. Doing very well in the classroom, made the dean's list. Such a great accomplishment. Hard work, got her back onto the field. That's hit. That one is skied into short left field. Willis, we are scoreless in the 3rd inning. Alabama just 1 hit. Jackson State looking for its first hit.
Asia Allen goes down as the 3rd strikeout. LA and Oklahoma State.
Belmont will play the loser of this game.
And get herself out of the inning, but doesn't get the call. Gonna have to come back to the circle and face the fastest batter in the lineup for Jackson State.
That is the first base runner for Jackson State, and now Gibson.
It makes it difficult because defensively you've got to crowd the plate, and up the middle you've got to protect second base.
There she goes. Has to be a fast throw. It is, and they got her. Elstad with an outstanding play over at third. Infield playing in. She really didn't think she would play much. She was talking to her parents before the first game and said, look, I think I'm going to just be a pinch runner. And she had accepted that role. Had told Alabama that she would.
Starting lineup.
Backhanded nicely by Morris, but then she threw it away. A gift. Pruitt running well as the ball gets into the corner, and there you see some of that speed we talked about.
But it doesn't look to be too ominous. It might rain, but I don't think it'll push us too far out of our programming windows.
1-2. Now the 2-2. Hit to the shortstop. Pruitt did not take off. And that is deep in the hole, no throw. Yeah, great competitor. Coach Montgomery talks about sometimes having to settle her down as she gets so fired up. Hevelin, who only has 3 stolen bases on the year, took stolen base of the game for the Tide. So they're up to 108 on the season. That is absolutely crushed, but foul.
She left it big, and that's one of the things that Coach Montgomery says she has a tendency to do. She can leave that ball big, and with a left-handed pitcher throwing the curve.
Well out of the zone. Here comes Hawkins. Hevelin in front of her, who just stole her 4th, so that's going to get the job done. Hawkins lacing one into the gap, brings in 2.
Swinging at this one, you could tell she was ready to drive it deep. She stayed back in her legs and did a really good job of just letting the barrel travel well beyond the reach and race of Gabrielle Willis. All the speed that was on the bases, 2 more come around.
Elstad, the 7th Crimson Tide player to bat, knocked it into right field. The throw gets away from the catcher.
Back-to-back hits, put some more runs up on the board. That's just a hard shot in the 3-4 hole. I'm impressed with the arm out there and right of Kalia Gibson bringing it in. It almost surprised the catcher, Christina Carlson. Didn't glove allowed Elstad to be able to just trot on over and put herself in scoring position.
So the RBI single for Elstad, her 45th run driven in. Took 2nd on the throw. All 4 runs unearned. Handled by the 3rd baseman Jackson, who ends the inning, but 4 seed. Jackson State 29-23 on the year.
Would maybe get the 15 or 16 seed and the opportunity to host regionals.
Down 1-2, and that's right up the middle. First hit of the game for the Tigers. Alvarez goes after the first pitch. This is just the 2nd base runner.
Time with Winstead in the circle. They're fouling things straight back. They're putting good barrel on the ball. It's either time for Winstead to start changing speeds in the circle or make a change to keep Jackson State off balance.
4th for Winstead. Willis sends it into right field. 1 pitch. Pruitt grabs last inning. Stevens.
Batters sent to the plate, taking advantage.
Drawn in infield. Pruitt with the perfect placement with the 1-out single. Very dynamic freshman. Pruitt takes off.
For Alabama, then a walk and an error were the only other opportunities for Alabama to get on.
Gloved by Murillo, and everybody's safe. And the grip takes off, and the throw is cut off by the 2nd baseman. Johnson up the middle, scores a run. She is thrown out. Vandegrift over at third. Evelyn sends that in the left field, gets an RBI single. Only 2 walks that Morris has given up this afternoon. And there she goes. Another stolen base. Deep to right field. Gibson covers ground and catches it. Good outing, so she has earned that popsicle on a very warm day.
I think you're a little jealous, Pam. Your job when the ball hits the ground is to make sure you look down, but glad she's okay.
Get beat up during the course of the season. Handled nicely by Dukeshire to retire Morris to start the fifth. Second year at Bama after starting out at LSU. Asia Allen struck out swinging against only other plate appearance. Beautiful. Taken by Allen. First strikeout for Johnson in her only at bat. Winner of this game gets Virginia Tech tomorrow. The loser plays Belmont to try to stay alive in the tournament. Mid to upper 80s through the weekend. Maybe dodging some storms here and there. Oh, pull the string, get a swinging strikeout.
Caused by the fact that she's given up a couple of home runs in key situations. Doesn't give a lot of free passes, so Alabama's going to have to earn their way on against her. But
and
with
she starts with a hit batter, Jen.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't give up a lot of walks, but unfortunately does hit the first batter she faces here today.
Scores 2 runs in this inning. The game would be over because of the run rule, and that got away from Gonzalez and allowed...
He does let go of the ball. It goes down as a pitch, but a heads-up base run.
Well, that's been called a wild pitch. And now another free base, hit by pitch, and a wild pitch. And now 4-run third inning. That one is laced towards the gap, but again, this Jackson State team with a lot of speed, but speed on the other side. Hawkins tags and scores the run. And you talk about the second time through the order a lot, Jen, and those numbers certainly bear it out. That is sent into right field, but Gibson, the pillow, transferred over from Northern Iowa. She was the Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Year a couple of years ago. From Iowa, that hit Papillo. One game in one of those contests. Laced into center field.
Right back up the middle.
Now Vandegrift singled and stole a base last time up, an infield single because she's really froze Vandegrift.
Well, I don't know if she was frozen as much as it was a 3-0 take.
Same thing. Just off the plate. All right, they are loaded now with 2 outs. Lowe got away from the catcher, coming in from third with the game-ending run is Papillo. The Alabama Crimson Tide win it 8-0. We'll see them tomorrow in that much-anticipated rematch as they take it by the final of 8-0.
When Brooklyn Morris had this game rolling, and when they made those pitching changes.
So Alabama takes it.